Alright, so aside from your usual toolboxes, you're going to need to prime the new gearbox with some power steering fluid. And for that, you're going to need this tool right here.
That's the bleed of fluid. When it's all said and done.
Automotive test and bleed kit. You can find them at any automotive parts store. I won't be able to get up under tank to film the actual installation because I'm fat and we only have one Z Creeper. So, just gonna stand back and let Herbie do his thing, and we'll talk about it after. But yeah, Herbie's about to get on the Creeper, crawl up under there, and start taking apart the gearbox, the old one, which is heavily damaged from what I understand. No shocker there. Tank's got a lot of rehab yet to go, but this is first things first to get his steering back the way it should be. And that is normal. You can tell when your gearbox is damaged on these because they get a lot of slush in their steering and they tend to want to get away from you really quickly. In Tank's particular case, as I said before when we were surveying damage, is he only gets one turn to the left and two to the right. So he can't make sharp U-turns or any of that. He does turn left, just not very well. So that's, again, why we need to do the gearbox. So
I make a recommendation not to do this kind of crap in July in New Orleans.
Yes, well, we waited till the end of the day to do it where it's not quite as hot, and at least the sun's not baking us. But I just want to try to get his rehab going as best as I can because it's time for him to be road ready. At least as much as he will be when we're done. And so that's it, you guys. Stay tuned. We'll talk about it after he gets the old gearbox off. I'll come back. Okay, so I get to film this part because Herbie's still up top. And Herbie's 5'11", but still needs a step stool to get up top of this beast, if that tells you how tall he is. Which, honestly, if you're going to do anything downtown and your only option for parking is a parking garage, you're pretty much out of options because this guy, Tank, he's too tall for a lot of parking garages, so you can't even get him in there. Might as well just pay the meter maid and park on the street. So tell him what you're doing, Herbie.
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to see if I can use a vacuum to stop the power steering from coming out when I'm trying to remove the lines from... Great, I don't think this one's gonna work.
You don't?
No. I'm just gonna have to bleed it the old-fashioned way.
Which is how? Without a pump?
Yeah, let all the fluid run down to an open line, and then cap the line off.
Is that going to make a mess? Are we going to have to listen to your brother's mouth?
Nope, not going to have to listen to his mouth because we're going to use a drain pan.
I gotcha.
But don't need to do that just yet anyway. This was just to see if I could stop the fluid from coming out while I take the lines off and lose a little bit less fluid.
But that's not going to happen. I guess it's a good thing we bought a bottle of fluid.
May need to buy more.
Hopefully we won't lose too much, but even if we do, he's not going to be driven yet, so we can always go to the store and get some more. Not a big deal. Tank's still grounded, still has to stay in the backyard for right now.
Gonna be quite a while he's gonna be grounded.
A little bit, yes.
He's gonna be grounded about as long as you would ground your kids for driving your car at 12 years old.
I don't think quite that long. It all depends on if we find some treasure at the junkyard on Sunday. And how much we find. We still have a long way to go, but if we could get at least a quarter of the parts we need, we'll be on our way.
Pray for them. I'm not religious, but you can pray for them.
Yes, yes. Like I said, Tank needs a lot of rehab. He's been abused. But he belongs to me now, and I will take care of him. I don't want to hear no comments about my Ranger either, Herbie.
He got beaten like a red-headed stepchild.
Yes, he did. Yes, yes, he did. Alright, so Herbie's about to crawl up under there and take the old gearbox off. When he's done, I will come back because I can't crawl up under there with him because there is not enough room for both of us fat people under there, and we only have one creeper anyway. So I will come back as soon as he gets the old one off so we can take a look at it and see how bad the other one looks. So Herbie was just explaining to me that, you see how we have Tank jacked up. They prefer you to be able to get both wheels off the ground when doing this job, but the way the four-wheel drive is, you're not able to do that. And tell them why.
Because when you have a four-wheel drive system, you run from your engine into your transmission. Your transmission runs from there through a small drive shaft into what's called a transfer case.
Okay.
The transfer case then has two drive shafts, one that runs out the back to the rear axle, and one that runs out the front to the front axle.
Okay.
The one that runs out the front to the front axle runs to a location on the front axle, which most mechanics tend to refer to as a pumpkin. It's basically where all your gears in your axle are stored and used.
Gotcha.
On a four-wheel drive, your front pumpkin is never centered.
Gotcha.
It's always off to one side or the other.
So that is why Tank is kind of lopsided at the moment on the jack, but it doesn't affect Herbie being able to do the job. It just, he can't do it the way they're saying he has to do it, but that's okay because Herbie can always finagle his way into figuring it out.
Boy, I'm a southern redneck. I know how to do things blue collar.
So we'll come back here in a little bit when he gets the old gearbox off.